Hello, it's 4 News O'Clock on Whole News Nigeria. I am Opeyemi Olubemi. Here are the headlines for today. Kremlin accuses Ukraine of trying to kill Putin. Serbia school shooting leaves 9 dead. Now the news. Russia on Wednesday accused Ukraine of a failed attempt to assassinate President Vladimir Putin in a drone attack on the Kremlin citadel in Moscow and has threatened to retaliate. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv had nothing to do with the reported overnight incident.
You know, I can repeat this message, and I think it will at least be understandable for everybody. We don't attack Putin or Moscow. We fight on our territory. We are defending our villages and cities. We don't have, enough weapons for this. That's why we don't use it anywhere. For us, that is the deficit. We can't spend it. And we didn't attack Putin. We leave it to tribunal.
A senior aide to Zelensky called the accusation a sign that the Kremlin was planning a major new attack on Ukraine at a time of potential turning point in the war as Kyiv prepares to mount a long-anticipated counter-offensive. Shortly after the Kremlin announcement, Ukraine reported alerts for airstrikes over the capital of Kyiv and other cities. Russia said that 2 unmanned aerial vehicles were aimed at the Kremlin. Video circulating on social media and verified by the Washington Post showed 2 drones streaking toward the Kremlin at about 2:30 a.m. local time. The first drone appears to hit the dome of the Kremlin Senate, a building within the fortress that houses Putin's office, causing an eruption of flames. The second drone appears to explode over the Senate's dome. 2 people are visible on the roof during the second explosion. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken said during a Washington Post live event that the United States cannot confirm the reports of an attack, adding that any such accounts from Russia should be taken with a very large shaker of salt.
And it's really hard to comment or speculate on this without really knowing what the facts are. More generally, as I've said and as we've said, when it comes to Ukraine, which is under daily assault, and not just its incredibly courageous military forces, but its citizens, its men, women, and children being assaulted on a daily basis by this Russian aggression, being bombed out of their homes, their apartments, and their streets, children killed, families torn apart. Well, we leave it to Ukraine to decide how it's going to defend itself and how it's going to try to get back the territory that's been seized from it illegally by Russia over the past 14 months and going back to 2014.
Russia has repeatedly accused Ukraine of staging attacks on key sites within Russia territory. Kyiv has often responded with ambiguous public statements, not taking direct responsibility for the strikes, but saying that it watches them with pleasure. In other news, the pandemic of gun shooting prevails in the United States as another incident was recorded on Wednesday, May 3rd. According to reports, a teenage boy opened fire in a school in Serbian capital of Belgrade just after lessons began on Wednesday morning, killing 8 children and a security guard and seriously injuring several others. The 13-year-old boy, who's a student at the school, allegedly sketched out the attack in advance on crumpled pieces of paper that officials displayed at a somber press conference. He called the police himself after 2 shootings. The rare and possibly unprecedented event in a nation with strict firearms laws, yet high levels of gun ownership, sent shockwaves through the local community and beyond. According to Serbia's Interior Minister, Bratislav Gašić, the boy brought 2 guns from home. The parent had several pieces of weapon and kept them locked up. The safe had a code, and obviously the kid had a code as soon as he managed to get hold of those 2 guns and 3 frames full of 15 bullets each. The suspect's father and mother were also arrested, according to Serbian officials, who added that it was known that the father had previously visited a shooting range with his son, whose age was first given as 14. Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić said that the 13-year-old suspect will be placed in a special psychiatric institution, adding that the shooting suspect did not show remorse. Serbia has a high level of gun ownership following its conflict with Kosovo in the 1990s. A 2018 study found that the country has the third highest level of gun ownership in the world, tied with Montenegro and behind only the United States and Yemen. But the country has strict gun rules and has issued amnesties for owners to hand in or register illegal firearms, meaning that mass shootings are comparatively rare. And that's it on today's news. For more updates, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. I am Okoyemi Olugbemi. Do have a great evening.